Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
I got hit by the light the same way we were getting hit by the spotlight yesterday.
Blinded by the light.
Why is that, dude? People, I know it adds a certain, aspect to an evening of boxing, but I don't know how much people actually appreciate the spotlights. And for the damage they do to eyes in the crowd, I'm not sure it's worth it. But
no, they're terrible. You're right about that.
yeah, I just don't know anyone that's like, man, those spotlights look really good on the show.
Funny, like on TV. I bet it's like on TV, it looks phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But in the arena,
I don't know. Maybe I've seen enough boxing matches that I don't like notice the spotlights on TV.
You got to be talking about the part in between fights where they just randomly put them around the crowd and the audience, and they
they mix.
I hate that.
They
part.
mix up the tempo. So sometimes you're good. You're standing up. You might be good. You're sitting down. You might be bad. Between fights, after fights, during fights. It's
we're in San Diego.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the
we're currently in
Pachanga
Vegas,
Arena.
Yeah.
And the lights. Every couple seconds, it hits you in the eye.
That's what I'm saying.
Take a step to the right.
Right.
The whole night. I don't know if you noticed, but the whole night I was never really in one spot. Yeah. I was moving.
I was doing Lomachenko pivots. I was like getting off the line.
Trying to make the light miss.
Yeah. I was getting off the line.
It was crazy.
I did the veteran tactic. You just start to put your head down.
Yeah. I'm like, man, Zittel, such a spiritual guy. He's praying in between fights.
Welcome to the Porterway Podcast.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you. Chocolate water with Carson.
For Chocolatito water.
Yeah.
Purple Carcanai with...
This is, I didn't... I'm fresh off the car.
Yeah.
Not the fresh off the plane, but fresh off the car. And this is what we had. Yeah.
You can't hate on him. You can't.
No, you can't.
I was so like...
You can't hate on Zittel.
I'm tired of this purple Carcanai. I don't want to see it anymore.
Okay.
All right?
Not this year. But I'm bringing it back next winter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Because it's getting a little warmer. It's warming up here in Vegas.
No.
But I will retire it for the season.
You got to retire it, man. You hanging out with me now, man. You can't. You got to come with something stronger than that, man.
Stronger than the car can.
Get a black one, get a white one, get a red one, and then when we don't know what's happening,
how about
it doesn't get stronger than this.
Well, how about yesterday? Shout out to my cousin Drew.
Used to be violet, now it's just plum. It's plum now.
Violet.
You're turning these washes.
You're turning violet.
It hasn't been washed.
He's over there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's over there like Pigpen. But when we went to when we're going to the fight yesterday, I said my cousin Drew. So he's like, we're getting ready to go to the fight. So he's got button up, got jeans on, some nice dress shoes. I said, what are you wearing all that for? He said, how am I overdressed? You know what Shawn's gonna wear? I said, I don't know. I literally show up, got my Crocs on.
Crocs.
Yeah. Soccer jersey, Kai Havertz. I'm walking in, I got my 3/4 pants on, and he's like, yeah, Shawn will be dressed to the nines as always. We get in the car and Shawn has a t-shirt on. He was like, How did I overdress?
He said,
you?
how did I overdress you? I said, hey man, I gotta give my suits a rest.
Yeah.
I give my suits a rest.
Yeah.
Get a Carcanai rest.
I will.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
You think Carl himself was even feeling worn out by the?
Yeah. I think he's like, you starting to have an adverse effect on my advertising of the product. Yeah.
I did forget though I didn't forget that you just came home, but you've been on the road. It's been a weekend.
Fresh off the car.
I appreciate the dedication coming
you were
in.
a San
Hard
Diego,
work, dedication.
You were a San Diego resident all week, huh?
I was. I love San Diego. We got more fights there.
How was it?
It was great. I got in early to see Canelo's press conference. Every now and then I have a fun little back and forth with Canelo Alvarez. He seems to think I throw some fastballs his way. The thing is with Canelo, he's the best fighter in the world. I hope if he sees this, he knows I'm saying that. But
he's a consistent viewer, so he'll see.
He is. I'm sure. We know he watched Ant.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
So
he is, yeah.
Okay, but he no.
Wave to him.
Yeah.
What's up?
Saul?
Canelito, el rey,
Okay.
el mejor, número uno de México del mundo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Crowd seemed to appreciate him yesterday.
That's right. Hey, I love
Crowd went crazy. He could have been like, he could have said anything, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Man, you guys are feeling this way about Triple G fight again." But go ahead. So
No,
you throw some fastballs.
So
out.
we know the Bivol and the Golovkin fights are official, and again, it's kind of like Floyd, where you're fighting Robert Guerrero, you're fighting Marcos Maidana, you're fighting Victor Ortiz. These guys are ranked atop the division. They're world champions, but We want that Pacquiao fight.
But
we want that Canelo fight, which he eventually gave us. And I think Canelo will eventually give said fight I'm asking for, the fans are asking for. So I asked him about Benavidez because, and I made sure to ask the question, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather say this is the best fight.
Not Shawn Zittel.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a little more weight. Yeah.
Right. Then even, so Floyd fought you before, whatever, maybe conflict of interest there. But Mike Tyson has nothing against you. He loves Canelo. Yeah. So Antonio Margarito after last night's fight, I want to see Benavidez. So I asked him, do you want the Benavidez fight? He goes, I don't care. I don't care what Mike Tyson wants. I don't care what you want. I don't care what Floyd Mayweather wants. These guys need to do something. And he's right. They do in the meantime, especially now that he's booked. But and I said, well, you're going to get the fight in at some point before you retire. He's, maybe. Sure. Go away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's just the fight. That's the number one fight I want to see Canelo in. I know you picked Bivol last week, but I went back and watched Bivol after that. I saw his fights with Craig Richards and Umar Salamov. These are guys that scream, go to the body. They're tall, thin guys, and he wouldn't go downstairs at all.
Keeping in the tuck.
Right, he's saving it.
Oh, I really don't know how to go to the body. First round, he's going to come out there.
And so I just think Canelo...
You heard it. Right
again?
Oh, damn, that might be a soundbite for the Prince.
So I just see him as it's a good fight. Triple G's a good fight, but I feel like we know Canelo's going to win.
Triple G is not a good fight.
It's the Floyd effect. It's no secret. Like, his game changed after fighting Floyd. It was supposed to change after he fought Floyd. It's no disrespect to Canelo saying, hey, you got better after you fought Floyd.
Of course.
I think a lot of people say that now, that, hey, you're better because of Floyd. I think it's how you say it to Canelo or how you say it in general, how you present that. He got better after fighting Floyd.
Because of who he is already. He allowed himself to get better.
Yeah,
I think the way, when you said the way people word it, if you're like, yeah, Floyd made you better.
Right.
Then you're taking away from Canelo.
Well, it also wasn't this overnight thing. Yeah. It was like that was the start, and then he got better and better and better and better.
Right. It's been stair steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Open mind.
As it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But now, I think from a business standpoint, when he fought Floyd, you watch Floyd's career after Canelo fought Floyd. I think Canelo's like, hey, I'm in Floyd's position now. I'm going to do things the way Floyd did them.
Yeah.
And it's like I told you at breakfast just yesterday, you can try to do things the way that Floyd did them, but once it's been done, people are going to pick up and see what's going on. And the things, if they liked it, they'll like it. Yeah. But if they had some discrepancy, some things that they didn't really appreciate, they're going to pick that out immediately and say, hey, you're trying to do what Floyd did to us, and we don't want to see that. You know what I mean? So while he's picking the fights that he wants to pick, from my experience being a professional, I say, hey, he's earned the right to do that. That's what we've seen, and that's what we've learned.
Isn't that always the case though with the top dog?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the precedent that's been set.
That's the precedent that's been set.
Because I've heard precedent, not the president.
Precedent. That's what I said. The P's.
But the
come on, man.
Because I've heard Floyd say numerous times, like when he fought De La Hoya, he wore the gloves De La Hoya made him wear. He took the purse that he got. He fought at the weight that he didn't want to fight at.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the top dog makes the rules.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I was like, who really started? Because some people would say actually Sugar Ray Robinson started it. He'd make sure the money got bigger right before he got in the ring. But I think what really started it, when I tracked it back, I think it was what Ray Leonard did to Marvin Hagler started this. It was, they were supposed to fight in 84 and 85. No, yes. And I actually tried to pin it back and it didn't even start with Floyd. It actually kind of started with Sugar Ray Leonard there in the mid to late 80s.
Hey, for us it started with Floyd.
Right.
Yeah,
so we don't
age. Yeah, and I think that goes for really any sport, that you can dictate something. If you're the top dog, there's a free agent right now. I assure you, they're gonna say, I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron, best player of all time, in my opinion. If he goes to
he's from Ohio.
Yeah, of course. If he goes to, so is Steph Curry, but if he goes to a team, he's going to say, hey, if I come here, I want this, and this. Mm-hmm. Trade this guy. Not really feeling this guy. So any sport, if you're the top guy, you're going to dictate the rules. That's how it goes. That's how the king stays the king.
I do kind of wish everyone took the De La Hoya route. And De La Hoya,
we talked about that yesterday.
He was the all-time fan friendly. Mm-hmm. Like I'll fight him. What fight do you guys want? You want that fight? I'm going to give you that fight. That was Oscar every time. But I mean, and Ali as well. But
I don't
Shawn
know.
Porter, some would say.
yeah,
I was going to say I don't know for a fact, but for me, everything kind of fell the way I needed it to, wanted it to, and the way the fans needed it to and wanted it to. Maybe it happened that way for Oscar, where Oscar didn't really have to look left or right because the money was right, the opponent was right, everything was kind of happening the way that it needed to.
For sure.
It worked out for me that way. While I wanted the best fights, the biggest fights, obviously the biggest money, I was getting the best in the ring with me, and it was like it kind of all happened for me where I wanted what was being given to me, and not too many fighters like. I don't know if Canelo wants Triple G, but Triple G is being given to him
at a nice price.
At a nice price, which probably gives
that was his first. So he, like I said, the crowd, and we'll kind of go back in order of the events. But so he's in the ring. Chris Mannix is interviewing him, and the first answer regarding Triple G was pretty much, it was included in the deal. It was a great deal. Is what it is. And then Mannix follows up and says, "Was it still personal?" I feel like, and I was like, okay, I have to say it at this point. Like,
Nah, it's not. You don't have to see this fight.
He was like, yeah,
it's not that
I
serious.
answered honestly the first time, but you're pressing me and you want me to say it. So yes, it's so personal. I hate that guy. I will say this. I love Canelo. I still feel strongly he loses the Bivol, but would I be shocked if Canelo wins? Absolutely not. Probably the best fighter on the planet. But I don't want to see the Triple G fight at all. I have zero interest in seeing the Triple G fight.
I more than likely won't watch it.
Yeah.
I'll be the one to defend it then.
He stops Triple G.
I won't watch it.
You're going to watch it.
Not going to watch it.
You have watched some BS fights. You will at least watch Canelo Golovkin.
I watched some BS fights not knowing that they were going to be BS.
Yeah.
I don't even believe that.
I'm not watching that fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not trying to boycott, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be any different. Oh, it's gonna be a little different where Canelo's gonna, Canelo's gonna put a smashing on Triple G. That
you ever seen the Anchorman Ron Burgundy gif where he takes a little hit? He goes, "I don't believe you." He smokes his thing. That's me right now. But
I don't know if you won't watch it. I'll probably watch it. Don't have any interest. I saw the first one. I thought Triple G might have won the first one. Second one, Canelo won. That's it. And then since that moment, Canelo has gone way up.
Yeah.
And Triple G has gone way down.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, how does it go? All
right, DAZN, I got you.
Yeah,
I got
go
you,
ahead.
DAZN. I got you, DAZN.
They also increased the subscription price. But go ahead.
You gotta keep in mind that Triple G is a 04 Olympian. We're now in 2022. It's almost 20 years since he fought in the Olympic Games.
Still want to see Andre Ward fight, right?
So it's been 18. So 18 years since he's been in from that quad.
Zittel was ready to sell it.
These are what's that? 3 quads, four quads,
Torn quad.
4 quads. Yeah. And I've talked to you guys about that before, where like the cycle of boxing is like basically in quads, and so now. We're approaching 2022, and he's the last of the Mohicans in that 04 quad still fighting. If there's anybody else fighting, they aren't big name fighters or anything like that. Basically, what I'm saying is, yes, you kind of you get old, you are deteriorated, you've been through wars. I mean, the list goes on. He's on his last leg, and if me saying it isn't enough, I'll just back up and say, well, hey. He fought in the 04 Olympics. Who else is fighting in that fought in the 04 Olympics? And how good are they doing now? And it's nothing.
And I don't think it's a disrespect to Triple G. He had a hell of a career. He was a marquee star for a while.
And actually didn't get the best fights in his real prime.
Yeah.
In his real prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he still had plenty in the tank that the Canelo fights, but his real prime is when he first came to HBO and fought, no names.
Yeah.
What if he loses? What if he loses to Murata? Not out of the question.
Then I'm going to Japan, baby.
Yeah. That would be funny. So sell it.
Okay.
And we don't need to dwell on this, but go ahead and sell
All
it.
right.
No. Go ahead.
All right. What you said.
I needed the breath.
You killed it. You did a great job. Now I gotta, let me do my propaganda.
Yeah.
You love that word.
I don't know what it means. It's another P word.
I'm about to do it. So, but you said one guy clearly has gone way up, ascended. The other guy, not so much. That kind of reminds me a little bit of Pacquiao and Marquez's third fight, where one guy was turning 40 years old, the other guy was significantly younger.
He's starting to sell me.
Significantly faster, significantly younger. He's moving up all these weight classes, knocking everybody out. Meanwhile, the other guy's treading water. Marquez got blown out by Floyd. He fights Juan Diaz twice. Michael Katsides. He's treading water like Triple G's been treading water, right? So clearly, third time around, Pacquiao's going to get him out of there. This is a different ball game. But you put these two in a fight, and all of a sudden, it's the same effing fight that you got the first two times. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Canelo stops him with a body shot after what I saw Derevianchenko do with that body shot. But I've seen this play out before with Pacquiao and Marquez.
How old were Pacquiao and Marquez that third time they fought?
Manny, I believe, was in his early to mid 30s, and Marquez was closing in on 40.
Body language, he was doing this. He doesn't know.
Yeah, well, no,
Yeah,
and I don't.
Early to mid 30s.
This was him physically saying, "Oh shit."
hold on.
I wasn't expecting him to know like off top.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like,
He was 32.
Like, you
and
can-
Marquez was 39, I believe.
yeah, but Canelo is the number one. Canelo is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, and he's 30.
Right.
So this isn't.
But Pacquiao was 32.
But was he the best fighter in the world at that time?
Some
The
people,
best?
1 and 1A,
Don't shake your head.
1 and 1A with Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I don't know.
On plenty of lists at 2011, he was number one pound for pound, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
And then after that third fight is when people knew Floyd would beat Pacquiao after the third and fourth Marquez fights. But
Yeah, the fourth one didn't go
I'm
on too well. I
to
think
say
I
this-
think it's gonna be similar to the fourth Pacquiao fight, and not Pacquiao, and Pacquiao being not Canelo in that equation.
I'm gonna say is I don't think I'm in my mind. I'm not seeing any adjustments from Triple G. I'm seeing the same Triple G that we saw in the first fight and in the second fight. I don't think that Triple G can beat Canelo, i.e. he didn't beat him the first and the second time. Therefore, I don't want to see the third fight. No disrespect to anybody. No disrespect to the fight. I hope it sells.
Well, lastly though, when you know you're gonna have people out there, hey, you were really 1-1 in those Triple G fights, so shut that up.
Yeah.
Close the show.
Yeah.
Put an end to it, because your detractors will always be like, I thought Golovkin won both fights.
Right.
So put him out with that body shot in the third fight, and
Those detractors are boobs, by the way. Just complete jabronis. 'Cause
they got Twitter accounts.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I hope my only hope for that fight is Canelo just bum rushes him. First round.
Man, I'm not crazy about that
First
fight.
round, I hope he just goes and says, all right, got him out of the way. Take it easy. That's it. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
You won't love John Ryder in December after that?
No, I will not.
Okay.
But so you were there for the press conference, and then Friday we had some fights. Top rank. Overall takeovers. Or takeaways, I should say.
I watched the two fights. I watched Richard Torrez.
Richard Torres, yeah. Making his debut.
Made his debut.
Quite an eventful debut, to say the least.
I hated that debut for him. And as I said to you, quite a challenge for your first fight.
Yeah.
Coming out of the blocks. If you're able to go from there moving forward.
That's a trial by fire. Not that his opponent was like a
Yeah.
stud just circumstantially.
Yeah.
Being
He drops that guy.
first round, I think he dropped him.
Melson
Yeah.
is his last name. He drops Melson. And
No relation to Boyd.
No relation. No relation to Boyd. It's too dark to be relation to Boyd. Drops the guy. The guy gets up and comes firing right at him. And I could tell from this guy's body language and the way he was moving before getting dropped, and just the way the few exchanges happened before he got dropped. I said, this guy's dangerous. It's like practically, I don't know, we're 20 seconds into the first round. I'm like, this guy's dangerous. He drops the guy, and my wife walks into the room. She sits down, and she sees me shaking my head, and then she leaves the room. And then I don't know, when did the headbutt occur? Was that in the first round too?
The headbutt would have been
At the end of the first.
End of the first.
End of the
'cause
first
they
round.
were working on it in the.
And after the headbutt, when I see that there's blood on Richard's head, first thing I'm thinking is, please be the other guy's blood.
Yeah.
When they identify that it's not the other guy's blood, I go just like this. This is not what you need ever in through the course of 10 fights, let alone your first fight to sustain a cut. It's just something that will be there, and that'll be storyline, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So now my hair's in my head, and she comes back in, she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, this guy's dangerous. Second round started, he puts the guy down again. She's like, which guy? I said, the one getting up. She said, well, he just got dropped. How can he be dangerous? I said, guys like this who don't know what they're going to do, they're so dangerous because it's hard for the guy who's got skills to use his skills because he gets out of whack because this guy's out of whack. Yeah. And I just, as soon as the fight was waved off, I was like, thank God, because I just thought it could have been worse than it was.
And I, to be fair, also was under the understanding it was waved off earlier, which I disagree with.
Yeah.
What did you think on the initial? I thought he waved it off.
No, I actually thought
it was no knockdown?
I thought it was funny because sometimes...
Or safe at home.
Sometimes when they wave it off, that's when the guy goes,
yeah,
what are you doing stopping the fight?
Yeah.
And when the ref was like, no, okay, the fight continues, I almost felt like Melson was like, oh, well.
I'm yelling at the TV. They're bringing in the stools and all. I'm like,
the doctor is in the ring, and then he's like, uh-oh.
I'm like, you didn't see the way he didn't go here. He went here.
It was like right here. It was like between the two.
And in my eyes, he was down here, but it was enough for me to know they didn't wave it off. And I was like, man, the commentator didn't help.
It was a little chaotic though.
No, I thought that was done.
That was the second one.
Yeah,
I was like, no, wait.
He made sure he was signaling a fair catch on that one. He was making sure he was up there.
He made sure it was clear on that one. But nevertheless,
my takeaway, we've talked about it. My takeaway with Richard Torrez, I really like him as a fighter. I really like him as a person too. Really good kid.
He has some Shawn in him.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned that when we interviewed.
Say that, and I was gonna say he's marketable.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
was gonna say he's marketable. Then you're like,
but when he interviewed Team USA, we kind of mentioned that, and he was like, yeah, to an extent. My takeaway though is heavyweight just doesn't, from my perspective, heavyweight doesn't make sense.
Bridgerweight is his.
He comes in. That's what I said. You need a guy to carry the Bridgerweight division. That's the guy. But he comes in at 201 for this fight at heavyweight, which. Yeah. I mean, you won by a second round stoppage. So who the hell am I to say don't fight at heavyweight? Yeah. But I don't know. It seems like if the ceiling is drastically different.
Yeah.
At heavyweight compared to, I mean, not far off cruiserweight. Like
the main thing is I don't know if he's gonna get taller. I don't know his age.
He won't.
I waited on a growth spurt. I swear to God, like 26, 34. And I was like, all right. Damn.
Sean like I had a conversation. Sean was sitting there last October. And was like, come on.
I was like, you just gotta let it go.
I'm gonna be a 47. If he's
not gonna get taller, that's the only thing he's missing. Yeah, he's got skills, he's got experience.
Yeah,
he's got power, speed,
heart.
The eyes,
and his
IQ,
body already started transforming for his first pro fight. He already was more solid and physically strong than we saw in the Olympics. Yeah.
So I like to see him where he can. I think he could be successful at heavyweight, but where I guess that bridge, like you said, Bridgerweight's his.
Yeah,
I think that Bridgerweight was created for a guy like him.
It was. No, it was. I thought that, as I said, well, this is the kind of fighter it was created for. Yeah,
certainly not financial, but.
But I mean, it would be cool to see an American Olympian, maybe who become the first Bridgerweight champion, or I think they.
But I mean, also if you catch heavyweight,
well, not the first, but
you catch heavyweight at the right time, it might not be bad. Like if by the time he's getting
Ruiz pulled it off.
Well, here's the funny thing.
He was 270.
When I first heard about this weight class, I was like, get that out of here. Like, nobody wants to hear this.
Yeah.
And then you get a guy that you care about.
And you're like, yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Best guy that you want to root for.
Yeah.
And you're
like, this weight class is what's wrong with boxing. Too many weight classes. Oh, never mind. Richard. Yeah. That's all Richard.
You're like, this guy can thrive here.
Like if he gets to a point where he can challenge for a title at heavyweight and there's not like these giant heavyweights like Deontay and Tyson Fury, like there's not these just mammoth guys. Like maybe he wins. Like I don't know how tall he is compared to like Mike Tyson. Not saying he's Mike Tyson.
He's a couple inches taller than Mike, probably.
Like that's not crazy. Like not that small, but
maybe do what the old school light heavyweights used to do. They used to, before there was cruiserweight, they would just become light heavyweight champ and reign, and then eventually I'm going to go up and fight Ali. Yeah. I'm going to fight, and they'd get smashed. But they would.
But they did it.
They did it, and I'm not saying he'd get smashed, but I'm saying maybe. You start off, that's your goal. You become the Bridgerweight champion, you defend that title, and then when you've done everything you can at that goal, now it's time I'm going to go after the heavyweight.
Look at
so he's 5'10". Yeah. Mike Tyson's right around 5'10".
Yeah, Torrez is 4 inches taller.
Yeah.
And
Torrez so it's not crazy, but like
Torrez is listed at 6'2". He's more like 6 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Not to hate, but he's more like 6 foot.
Yeah.
But maybe we're looking at it because he is young and we
Yeah.
don't see a grown man at heavyweight.
And he's got this.
Yeah, he's got that. But I mean, like, you know, he's gonna grow. He's gonna grow into the weight. He's gonna grow into being a professional. So maybe it'll just take some time, some fights for us to start seeing him as a heavyweight.
I see it compared to Tyson and Deontay and those and Anthony Joshua, like these just gigantic, strong guys, and he's just a little bit smaller. Great fighter, but I think there's a little bit of a ceiling there.
You know what he does have going for him though? I love Salvador Sanchez. He was Mexican and had that afro.
Yeah.
He's got the dopest Mexican afro since Salvador Sanchez.
He's got some nice
Gray hair, yeah.
He's got some
No
good
doubt.
hair. Got a good grain of hair.
Yeah. Main event that night, Jose Ramirez coming off his first career loss.
frustrating fight to watch
Yeah.
because neither guy was ever able to really be effective for much of the fight. Neither guy able to separate themselves. Every round's kind of close. Neither guy's that accurate. You know, it's credit to both guys. They're fighting on a high enough level. They're making each other miss more often than they're getting hit. But it was kind of frustrating to watch.
Did we maybe not accurately, I guess, rate Jose Pedraza? Like, do we maybe just underrate him a little
Expect
bit?
more of him?
No, I'm thinking
you
the
said-
opposite.
yeah, you said underrated.
Because like I saw Jose Ramirez, I'm like, okay, Jose Ramirez, like Pedraza, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of not blows him out, but clearly Jose Ramirez comeback fight. And I was like, no, Jose Pedraza can fight. Like Jose
box.
Like, yeah, Jose Pedraza.
He can box,
He's still very
He's got the right
legitimate.
nickname.
Yeah.
Sniper.
Yeah.
I'm like, my man is slippery
Yeah.
and a sniper.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot out of him. I didn't.
Yeah, I think that I was kind of in the same thing where it was like, yeah, Jose Pedraza, you know the name.
Yeah.
And people said also, to be fair, Tank stopping him in hindsight is a pretty
Kind of derails you.
pretty serious compliment to Tank though.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
Because if you keep watching him perform, you're
Right.
like, dang, like that was a serious knockout.
Right.
But yeah, I think we just kind of I don't want to say we disrespect him, but you never really hear him mentioned much. And like he's a really, really good fighter.
Yeah, he's a solid boxer.
Yeah.
Like I said, slippery. Was able to move on Jose Ramirez and make him reach. Sniper in terms of being able to kind of catch him with some quick left hands, and was turning Jose too. I saw an adjustment from Jose where he threw a couple pivots in there on Pedraza and was able to get off on Pedraza. You know what I mean? So while you're saying it was frustrating, no disrespect, but I was done watching right around the 10th round because with fights like that, nothing's going to change. And so it's just based on what those judges see and then who wins. You want to stick around to see the result of Chocolatito. We'll get there.
I was burned before.
We'll get there, but
I was
after
burned by judges' scorecards before.
I told you that 3 rounds.
Yeah.
after 9 rounds, and I'm like, okay, this guy's not going to knock him out. I'm like, we're good. Let's get in the car and let's roll.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
I wasn't going for it, but
he wasn't going for it. We stayed there to that.
And Jose Ramirez, he's still a really good fighter. I don't know what his I just don't know what his plan is for 40.
You know what?
I fully expect him to be fighting Jose Zepeda for the vacant WBC.
Yeah.
I think Taylor's going to vacate those belts.
Yeah.
They're rated 1 and 2. Their first fight was really good.
Yeah,
So
I'm good for
I
it.
think they're going to fight for the vacant WBC.
I was gonna say, and to Jose Ramirez's credit, I think that a fighter, it didn't work against Taylor, but a fighter who can make him step up and use some different things and stuff like that, probably he's more ready for that now, having gone through it against Josh Taylor.
Was it against Maurice Hooker where he had like the crazy explosion to stop him?
Yes.
That's what I always, when I think of Jose Ramirez, that's what I'll always think, because it was like he hurt him, and then all of a sudden it was like he was like the Tasmanian devil. It was
was
like
like,
10
whoa.
punches. I was like, good Lord. But yeah, I think he can still be a champion at 140. Maybe I don't see him going to 47 because I think he still is pretty good at 40. I don't see him draining himself.
Yeah.
From my opinion.
No, he's still himself. He's still Jose Ramirez. But watching that fight, I thought, Zepeda, this is your fight to win the second time around. Not that he's fading or nothing, but it's I don't know, when you get he's been through so much in his career. He got to that mountaintop fight and came up just a little short, and he's on the other side of that mountain now. And for Zepeda, it feels like in his career that big moment is yet to happen. Like he's still working towards his signature moment. And so I'm like, I just feel like that's Zepeda's fight to win the second time around.
Could be a hell of a fight like the first one was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he gets at least a belt again at 140. I like that matchup. But
Coming off of the loss, especially how hard that fight was for Jose Ramirez, came in with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. It looked like he was very focused. I love seeing that. And he looked like he was ready to fight. And I think that those were some of the key things that were missing in his fight against Josh Taylor. And so, again, the guy coming off of a loss looking like that, he looks good moving forward.
Good thing for him.
Yep.
And then Saturday, we were all three of us were in San Diego. Didn't get to go to SeaWorld.
With
but
Drew, you know.
Yeah, cousin Drew was in the
Yep,
building as well. Didn't get to go to
shrimp
SeaWorld.
and grits.
Yeah, we had a nice little breakfast.
You know, I found out at SeaWorld, whales are now dolphins now. Like the dolphin, they won that war. They won the whale-dolphin war. Whales are dolphins now. Yeah. I remember it used to be.
like orcas?
Yeah.
Hold on. Thank you.
what I'm saying.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What are you
perfect
talking about?
You didn't go to SeaWorld or you would know, champ.
Don't they? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
The
I had to
best,
flip it on you.
and I also don't mind. We play a little putt, and then Drew and I did the punch machine, and I definitely fractured both wrists somehow. I didn't, but we'll
want
include,
that?
Yeah, we'll include the video. Go ahead and send it. But and so then I kept saying, we got some time to kill. SeaWorld, and they'd throw out other ideas, and then it'd come back, the conversation, come back to me. You know what I'm thinking?
SeaWorld's pretty close to the arena.
SeaWorld Drive. I can see it from here. I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw an orca in the background do the dun 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 dun, the Michael Jackson song from Free Willy. But
I didn't have an urge to go until we were leaving.
No, it's an all day thing. It ain't a we got a fight to go to later today. It's kind of like dedicate the whole day.
I can't walk like that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
The
Needs
hips.
double hip replacement. Motivation Monday. Vernal Lucas, Dr. Vernal Lucas. But then we end up at Pechanga Arena, like you mentioned. We walked in possibly at the perfect time. We walked into a fight that Suleiman Cissoko was supposed to win, and I walked in and there he's on the
down.
ground.
Yeah.
He's
How
falling
does
in the
his
road.
song go again?
Pretty much just Cissoko.
Cissoko.
Yeah, over and over again.
Cissoko. Something like that.
Yeah.
Is it him?
I don't know if it was him. I think it might be made for him, but I tell him I heard it, and we're like, yeah, cool. You have your own song. You have your own song on the podcast. We walked in. He ends up getting the win, comfortable win. It was an exciting fight, but man, Mauricio Lara. Actually, we can touch on Tashito Fierro. Ends up fighting to a draw, which seemed like the right call.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who Shawn was rooting for ringside.
He
He was like, go for Burgos one round and then go for Fierro the next round.
No, he was go for Fierro.
It was the whole time. I was confused. That's on
But
me.
then when he wasn't going, that's where the frustration.
Yeah, it was just I was frustrated last night.
Yeah.
When you're invested,
Yeah.
and you are just kind of rooting for someone and hoping for the best. And for me, it's always when I'm watching boxing. I think a lot of people when they watch football or they watch basketball, I'll do this, I'll do that, and it's like, man, you gotta.
And it's usually somebody like me that's saying that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what'd you get burned on that fade? What are you doing? as I have my phone on my stomach and I'm drinking something.
It's some milk water.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk.
Unbelievable.
Chocolate water.
Idiots ran cover 3.
Yeah.
But
what a
I'm
move.
watching and I'm just like, man, you gotta use your jab. You gotta use your jab. I wanted so much to yell for him. I don't yell at fights, but I did the translation and all that. I was like, that's too many syllables. I'm not about to stand up and yell that for jab. But I just think that when I told him, I said, hey man, rest up. You got a draw. You didn't get a loss. And I'm giving him advice that came to me once upon a time from my dad. When I got my draw, I was like defeated. And my dad's like, hey, it's a draw. It's not a loss. You can come back. But the first thing you got to do is not
dwell on it.
Yeah, not get depressed and stay down. And that's what I told him. I said, hey man, don't beat yourself up. It's you got to draw.
You're young.
It kind of it kind of is what it is.
That guy's fought everybody.
Yeah.
You got to get back training. Yeah. Don't rush back to it. And we'll talk when the time comes. But trust me, when I get the opportunity to talk to him, hey man, use your jab. Start working on your jab. He couldn't find his way into this guy. This guy's tall, long. He was creating space. List goes on. And I
love the double left from Fierro. Whether it was a double hook or if he would go throw to the body, go up top. There were certain things I was enjoying.
He was definitely throwing 2 hooks, like hook to the body, then hook to the head. Yeah, a lot of that. But I just felt like there was some things missing from him that were They were not complex things. They were simple things. Again, using your jab, using some feints, head movement. He's got his defenses needs to improve, and I felt like if he had been able to change those things or improve those things through the course of the fight, that he would have got a more convincing decision opposed to the draw. I was actually worried he might lose the fight, and that's why that's why you could see me like I was hurt for the kid. You know what I mean? I've been rooting for him for a while now.
Yeah.
And so he struggled last night, but
Happened.
What do we say about adversity?
Makes champions. That was a quote from you. Yeah.
There you go. So
Just
he'll be
23
all right.
years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still young. Again, we always say better to get lessons in a non-loss. If you can learn lessons in a win or a draw, you're in better shape than a loss. But the next fight, my gosh, is Mauricio Lara down for the action. Good gosh. That dude, he is willing to take some shots and he is going to throw some shots.
That fight, watching that fight, when I looked at, I said, man, I feel like Amir Khan and Kell Brook all over again.
You didn't know what the hell was
You
going to
didn't
happen.
know you knew somebody was going down, but you didn't know who it was going to be. It was what do they call him, a barn burner?
Barn burner.
That was
Yep.
a barn burner.
Also, I'm in a moment where I feel a sneeze coming, but it hasn't come yet. So, no, get off me.
Right? That helps.
No,
with the
that doesn't help. It can help you get popped.
You gonna burp him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
sneeze. I was gonna rub his back.
Unbelievable. You're a good friend, but it's just hovering. So in case I sneeze, I apologize. But
Give it 3 or 4 minutes.
it was at the end of the first round, maybe?
It was. You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah. There's gonna be a twitch. All of a sudden, my eyes gonna start twitching.
He looked over at me. He's like, I hurt.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
But I think it was the end of the first round. You hear the 10-second, and all of a sudden, Lara was like,
He went.
"It's on." It was like it flipped. It was like a game changer. You hit 10 seconds, and he was like 50 punch combo. You ordered it up. Here it is.
He can punch.
Gosh,
It says 16 knockouts and 23 wins, but
who the hell was he fighting?
right? Who are them 7 guys that?
Yeah, that was. I don't want to say I didn't have expectations for that fight, but it was. I saw Mauricio Lara piece up Josh Warrington, and then the second fight kind of was what it was. But man, that was a great way to move into that main event.
We were talking about how just what a freewheeling puncher he is.
Yeah.
You know, like just like Shane Mosley used to be.
Yeah.
Putting his ass and his neck into every punch and not really worrying about what's coming back. Yeah, see, you see it right there. See it right there.
Yeah,
see it right there. His head is swinging everywhere as he goes. He's throwing everything he's got into the shot, not worried about what's coming back.
Throwing wide shots, getting hit with wide shots, throwing straight shots. It was crazy, and then he ends up stopping him in a big way.
He's one of those guys that say, I've said before, you can't teach somebody how to be entertaining. You either are or you aren't. And he's one of those guys that just goes out there not to be entertaining, but this is just who I am. This is how I fight. And can you get with it? You know what I mean? So it was fun to watch. I was scared for the other dude.
Yeah, like we're watching.
I was scared for both of them.
Who was doing his thing too?
Yeah, I was scared for both of them.
Yeah.
But
And
it got
I'm-
to the point where I was just scared for the other
Yeah,
kid.
but we're sitting there, and I was like, okay, it'll be a cool fight. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a second,
Yeah.
let me sit up real quick. But I even love Lara's story of how he ends up. They not handpicked, because that, again, you don't want to disrespect the fighter, but for lack of a better term, they handpicked him to face Warrington. Warrington was the guy. Bring a guy over here. He'll and then
They don't have Telemundo in Britain.
yeah.
So they don't know how good all of them are.
And they just brought him over, and he beat the brakes off of Warrington, and I think he was going to beat him the second time.
Horrible style matchup.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's a good style matchup for anyone unless you're like an extremely defensive, like outside fighter that can keep him off you. 'cause
Right.
It's going to take a lot to keep him off. you.
Yeah.
And he is. Yeah, that was entertaining. The crowd was going wild for that one, and then
And beautiful trunks too. I think we could all agree.
yeah, absolutely.
Trunks were on point.
Yeah, kind of like a little teal action, a little Florida Marlins. Shout out to Dontrell Willis.
It's not SMF, so let's
Yeah, stylesmakefights.com, I think is the website. But great fight. And then the reason we were all there, the Chocolatito.
I was there because you were there.
And I was there because he was there. So, chicken and the egg.
All hail Roman Gonzalez.
Yeah, all hell, straight up.
And you know what?
I was sitting there, excuse me,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
because you're the I was sitting there like,
Oh, he's good.
this guy is a.
And you know what? Part of me was
Surgical. You know I'm surgical with this, Jake.
Surgical.
Like,
You know I'm surgical with this, Jake. Here you go. That's all it was. That's all it was. The OG was in the ring.
And part of me was, I just love, I mean, to see him fight live, if you've never done it, I don't know how much longer he's going to fight, do it. Because it's a...
Talk to them.
Yeah, it's a sight to see. You see that guy fight live, it's a beautiful thing. But part of me, outside of just enjoying it, I just kept looking over at Zittel like, you stupid idiot.
I didn't pick against him.
Idiot.
I didn't pick anybody.
But you hinted towards the, oh, yeah, Julio Cesar Martinez got the faster hands. No, he doesn't.
He's got the youth. No, he did have faster hands.
Did he have faster hands?
After
don't think so.
the sixth round, I looked at Carson. I said, "Yo, why was everybody picking this other guy to win?" Like,
And I said the only guy who did it was Zittel.
yeah. And
I didn't pick him to win.
I said, okay, well, not pick him to win, but he's
Why do
like,
they think he was gonna give him trouble?
he was a favorite or something,
Because
right?
Martinez still is an excellent fighter. That was a very good fighter against a legendary
and
fighter.
that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all
Is that what that was?
Yeah, Martinez is good.
Dang.
He's good.
I think. I mean,
He's good.
No matter if he's a 15, wherever he's at, he is a great fighter. That was my takeaway of the whole fight. He's a good fighter. Cool. You're going against the guy.
I think he might be a
Chocolatito,
pretty
like,
good fighter. Not even just a good fighter.
I agree.
You know, like
especially depending on who he's fighting. Also, his chin is unbelievable.
right.
Yeah.
But you watch, that was an absolute clinic.
Clinic.
Everything, because I was sitting there and I said, what did Julio Cesar Martinez do better than Chocolatito in that fight? Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Throw combinations against the gloves.
Yeah, if there was an award for hitting gloves, Martinez got it. Shout out
And
to
some of
Andrade.
them were getting in, but
Yeah,
most of them were being
course.
blocked. Yeah.
But yeah, Chocolatito is just, you talk about surgical. He was surgical with the whoop ass.
I'll tell you what, because he's not, there's nothing complex coming from Chocolatito. He's not going to hit you with a bunch of pivots. He's not going to use the whole ring. He's not going to stand in front of you and slip. He's not even going to stand in front of you and do anything. He's going to stand in front of you like this. He's going to punch on time. I'm hyped.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
going to punch on time.
Yeah.
He's going to throw the right punch, and he's going to be accurate as
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm like, all right, it's Chocolatito. I've seen him fight. I've seen him fight live, all that. He's great. He's a small guy, and he's one of the greatest small guys to ever do it. But last night, I saw how great he actually is. I didn't know.
I said last night, he is the definition of, he knows his job. Every round.
Yeah.
He's like, ding, 3 minutes, got to go do work.
Well,
he's going to be on you for 3
He
rounds.
let Martinez get off for the first minute and a half, and just stay on top of him. And you could feel in the second half of the round, it was like any minute now, Gonzalez is going to start his attack and bust him up. And every time he did.
It was like the first round, you saw the experience, and it's like, for me, it was like, okay, I see what your game plan / what you want to do. I see that.
Yeah.
You want to kind of
Try to
not
wear
really,
him out
not
a
even
little
really pace yourself. Or I don't even think it was so much him allowing Martinez to wear himself out, so much as it was him just understanding the clock. And like you say, when I clock in, when I start to work, I'm going to continue to work until the bell rings.
Yeah.
And to see that from his side, and then I don't think there were any adjustments, not in the ring, maybe in the corner.
No.
There were no in-ring adjustments coming from Martinez.
What could he have done?
What could he have done? He could have fainted. He could have made.
The only thing he was going to faint was passing out.
There was a couple times in the second half, he tried to walk Chocolatito into shots.
Yeah.
He did that with the left.
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
But
he did.
But I mean, usually when you think of getting taken to school, it's counter punching and a guy getting his ears boxed off. He took him to like violent school. He took him to infighting school.
And what I was saying is, what I'm used to is just like me on the outside of the ring. Okay, I know what you want to do. On the inside of the ring, I'm like, okay, I know what you want to do, and let me stop you from doing that, or let me do something different. And I've seen that so many times where the complexion of a fight changes because that guy figures out what the other guy wants to do, and then it just becomes this thing. And it was like, you're not going to figure this out, Martinez. And then you could see the glove punching and the frustration set in. And at that point, I was like, okay, this fight's not going to change. Let's start heading towards the door.
I wasn't going for it.
It wasn't
I saw what happened in the Estrada fight. I needed to hear every 3 judge scorecard. I said, you read them.
right.
I need to hear it. And then it was like,
I told Carson, I said, listen.
The second I heard the last scorecard, I said, we're good.
I said, if the judges get it wrong, there's nothing you can do about it, man. Let's roll.
I might have stormed the ring.
He's like,
by God, is that Carson Burke's music?
I'm gonna stay here until the last.
I sat there exactly like that too.
Yeah.
My arms crossed. And I was like, You get this right. You get this right, damn it.
But
He was Jedi mind tricking all the judges.
it
I
was
was
one of
ready.
the best performances of his career. And
Yeah.
and I think it validated back in 2017 when he got put as the best fighter in the world pound for pound. There were some fans who felt like that's the boxing nerds doing that because really only the purists of the sport are going to watch a 112 pounder, 108 pounder. So they almost felt like you guys are trying to throw shade at Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward, guys in higher weight classes that we're more familiar with. But I think performances like this, and Floyd Mayweather at the time said he is the best fighter in the world. It shows no, that's not what that was about. He's just that great. He's one of the true greats of his era of the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So Quadras, Martinez now, Brian Valoria is a borderline Hall of Famer. Gallo Estrada, he's got the resume. I mean, even if you don't regularly watch the lower weight classes, the guys he's beaten. And I get all that's really left because he already beat Gallo. Fight Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Because he's
And that would
fight
be
the kid who's got next, I guess.
And it'll be a fun fight. And Chocolatito, he's down to fight everyone.
Oh yeah, and let me say this about Chocolatito. He looked fresh.
Yeah, he didn't look like I don't think he looked like an old fighter.
No, he's not 27 anymore.
Yeah,
but he's still in his prime.
But
He's still in his prime.
I didn't
Yeah.
see like a fading guy that were like, yeah, it was a good performance. But
8 and 9, the 2 rounds where I
you tried
I
to
thought he
give him
put his
some.
foot off the gas.
You're talking about a kid that's faster than this guy.
Right.
allegedly.
But when I'm able to see the timing that he had, the precision that he had, the stamina that he had,
Yeah.
like those 3 major things
Yeah.
that go as you get older in the game
Yep.
in this sport, and he's still fresh.
I think if I could pick the fight for him, I want him to beat the Rat King. I want him to piece
I
him
thought he
out.
already beat him the first time.
Who you telling?
Right.
Of course, I thought he beat him as well. But,
But it is a bad style matchup.
yeah, and to be fair, somehow he could lose again. I don't know. Like he got knocked out in the second fight, so like it's possible. But
And it wasn't close before the knockout.
no,
Yeah.
I would like to see that though. I think if there's one fight, go in there, he beat you twice, and get him, beat the Rat King because I think he beats him the third round, same time as the first one. But
I mean, he should be one of the rare fighters who's beaten everybody he's ever fought.
Yeah.
If they gave him that first fight.
yeah, and I don't know who else like Bam Rodriguez that I don't even know what to even think if somehow he matched up with the monster. If he matched up with Inoue somehow,
He said no for 118.
I don't even know what I would think. I don't even know how I would feel. I don't know who I would be rooting for Chocolatito. I'm lying. But that fight would be unbelievable. But yeah, I think he's still the guy at 15.
He is.
And at these weights, you're supposed to be ancient at this age.
Yeah.
That's what I just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Did you say that? I thought, did you mention
I mean,
those
I
two?
kind of.
Kind of.
Okay.
He was thinking it.
No,
But-
I know. And that was piggybacking off what Shawn said.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think
Let's
I think
piggyback it.
I think if you
Get
put-
off my back.
I think if you put that fight on for anyone, I don't know how you would watch that and not love it. Like how even if you're not a boxing fan, like if you're just like, hey, you want to see a good boxer and just put this on, like I don't know how he throws over 1,000 punches, like over 50% accuracy with his power shots. Like he's the guy.
If I had a complaint, I'd like to see something flashy from the guy.
Special effects, you mean?
Some special effect. Give me something.
Some
His special-
slip, boom.
His special effect is just he's like a Care Bear. He's just like he's so lovable.
He really is who you think he is.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And everything I've ever heard, there's certain guys where you believe somebody is some way, then you hear something, you're like, oh, not like anything sinister, but you're like, oh, maybe he's not who I thought he was. He seems exactly like, in every account of it, is he exactly who we think he is?
We went to San Diego, did a 4-hour drive in 3.5 hours.
4.5 hour drive.
Did a 4.5 hour drive in less than 3.5 hours. For this man to give Chocolatito a hug.
Did he?
Oh no, I
Had
stand
a connection.
I stand by my decision.
Had a connection. Hey, can get you in the back room right now, man. This is your
Before his
chance.
fight. This is before his fight. No chance I'm going back there and hugging that man before
Before the
this
fight? No. I said, man, he's cool with it. Let's go.
No way. I wasn't going for it.
Little peek back. He said, nah, I'm not doing it.
I said I ain't the one.
True fan.
Because
Back
if he
karma.
goes, if he goes out there and loses, the whole drive home, I'm like,
So I said, Canelo was back there. And what'd you say?
He was in
Martinez
Martinez's room.
room.
He's already he's gonna lose anyway. Hug him. I'll go hug Martinez. Hey, have fun getting pieced up for 12 rounds.
Right.
But, nah, I wasn't going for. I wasn't hugging him.
The dedication to this.
You didn't want to throw him off before the fight.
And
the W's more important than your little selfish hug moment. I respect it.
You know, I'm a heavier guy. You
I
know,
probably
maybe
would've took the hug,
maybe
though.
somehow I injure him with a hug. I'm big clumsy, a little heavy.
I
but-
would have took the hug, huh, Shawn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you were,
yeah.
100% to it.
I don't even
And
think
the picture.
I don't even think I would hug you before a fight. I don't put it on me.
if Shawn's
don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I don't want that bad juju on me. If somehow you lose, then
You're a better man than me. If Shawn was like, Bernard Hopkins,
I mean, he already
I can
lost
go
because
see-
of the pod. He already lost because of the podcast to some people. I'm already getting that assigned to me. People that said you didn't prepare well enough for the podcast.
Oh,
Damn,
he beat the hell out of Formella during the podcast, didn't he?
that was after.
Oh,
That
it
was after. Right
It
after.
was.
Started after.
we
yeah.
started the week after.
If you would have started before, might have been an upset of century. But I wasn't giving him a hug before the fight. But
You get those videos of him hitting that bag. Yeah.
it wasn't great.
So this was relatively a good night of fights.
Yeah.
It was a good night of fights.
Yeah, I know you mentioned earlier San Diego, nice little area for a
I
fight.
love San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got real boxing fans there. I mean, it's a large, Mexican fan base
Yeah.
there. So sometimes when you can't bring a guy to Vegas yet, when he's just not ready to sell out a Vegas venue, maybe, take him to a place like San Diego. Try something like that out.
Let me tell you, 3 lion-ass individuals. Tony. It rains in Southern California. Every time I've been to San Diego, it's rained. So not sure what that song was about, but
I said, what about
wait.
LA?
I said, wait. Did we turn the wipers on? Am I imagining that? He said, no. I said, okay. So I've been to San Diego twice. Rained both times.
They
I love feels good, and if I had no loot, but
They lied to you.
yeah,
I like the song from the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. That's my favorite. And maybe my only Tony Tone song I like. Just
Lay
me
Your
and
Head
you.
on My
I'm not
Pillow.
going to sing it.
Oh,
just me and you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah. No, they got some good songs, but
Ricky has a never mind.
not in the meteorology game, maybe. But no, yeah, we had a good time out there. I punched the bag, pretty much broke it just based on pure power. I didn't break it based on.
What was the score? What do you get in the 800s?
I got in the 800s. Yeah.
You want to show that real quick?
Yeah,
That thing is so ridiculous.
I hate it.
I hate it too.
I lost my cousin, but
If you try to
he
throw a
punches harder
punch,
than me, I would guess.
if you try to throw a punch, you would actually throw in a real fight on that thing. You're gonna get such a low score.
I thought about jabbing. I thought about jabbing to save myself the embarrassment of putting a lot into it and not registering much. And I'm a jab fan.
Did you say you hurt something?
Yeah, it hurt my hand.
Yeah.
I needed hand wraps.
See? That's why I don't mess with
If
it.
you're ever gonna box, use hand wraps.
Wait, I gotta see this video though.
No, yeah.
Okay, all right. Later on.
Yeah,
Later
we'll
on.
show you afterwards.
Enjoy the video.
Yeah, enjoy the video as it's
He
happening.
sucks.
But the first one,
I had my own punch bag story. That same machine, same weekend. It was.
Didn't
I
go
go
well?
up, I throw it like I would actually throw a real shot, and it gets
And
in
it punched you back?
Get in the 700s.
Wait, what the?
It gets in the 700s, and this long-haired kid. I mean, I got long hair, but his was even longer.
Yeah,
And he walks up,
1,000.
big dopey kid. He's like, bangs it like an idiot, gets in the 800s. I look at my wife. I'm like, that's it. I'm making an adjustment. I'm not going to walk away from this machine scoring less than him. So I do the little stupid exaggeration motion everyone else does, and I beat him. I get to 870. So
That's what.
Don't feel bad about your technique.
Drew did. Like Drew, the last time Drew hit the bag,
He did like a crow hop into it.
he like look. He's like, I'm gonna put it
It was
all
like he
in.
was firing from center
Yeah.
field. He was like,
Make sure he had all the space he needed
Yeah.
just to walk in and step through. Like you said, you gotta step through if you're hitting that bag.
it's a good.
People really like hitting that thing. I don't get it.
Yeah, something to punch where it's not gonna punch you back. Typically, I mentioned the only other time in my entire life I've done that. I punched a machine next to it on accident. I clipped the bag and then punched the machine. I was like, "Yep, I'm good. That's a 0. I'll take that."
I
But,
never hit that thing.
Yeah. The next week, kind of a light week for boxing.
yeah, the week after is good.
Yeah, we have a showbox card Friday. I don't know where, but there is a showbox card. Tune in if you like to see young fighters. Rafa Marquez's son's fighting, maybe?
Giovanni,
Yes.
making the Marquez team, TMT.
Yeah, I believe he is making his debut. I've heard good things. I've heard he's a pretty accomplished amateur.
I got to see him spar Devin Haney months
Legend.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in November. So
Yeah.
he switches orthodox, southpaw, 152 pounder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
152 pounds. Oh,
In the amateur,
That
so
was- I was
154
wait a
in the
second.
right.
WBC added another division while I wasn't looking. But the main card over in on DAZN, Leigh Wood, Michael Conlan.
Oh yeah.
Michael Conlan was like the guy at Top Rank. They were pushing him for a hot minute, and I don't know.
They felt he was marketable. You know, the Irish thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Top Rank didn't.
He is marketable.
He is.
He's a good fighter.
exciting, yeah.
He's a good fighter. He challenges Leigh Wood for his title, 126, which technically Leo still has, but WBA, please, I beg of you, figure something out. Because Leo has had that for like 4 years and maybe hasn't defended it since then, like in 4 years or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who wins that fight. Leigh Wood got the upset against Kanzu, but damn, who was back on that card? Kid Galahad.
Oh,
Kid Galahad's back. To all the fans that after Kid Galahad beat, who did he knock out? He won a title. No, he didn't knock him out. He won a title though. And all the fans in the comments
just recently, right?
last year or the year before.
Last year.
Yeah, but he gets a title, and we kind of came on. We're like, yeah, he's good, but he's kind of an ugly fighter. He is known for like stepping on feet, like whatever. Gets his title, and the comments like, I think he beats Navarrete, and I was like,
No.
surely not Emmanuel. and then
It's got to be another one.
yeah, there's got to be another one, maybe the brother.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah,
Surely.
sure. But then in his next fight, he gets iced by Kiko Martinez. So, and now he's back, but Terry Harper is fighting as well. Yeah, light week in boxing though.
Next week, weeks
The
after is
19th
good.
is
We
good.
get Vergil and Berlanga on
Yeah.
opposite coasts.
Yeah,
All the young guns.
Yeah,
Young
2
Guns.
weeks. Yep.
Yeah, on the 19th.
And
Young
Michael
Guns,
McKinson, a little better than I originally gave him credit for when I went back and watched. You see the record, only 2 knockouts, 20 wins, 21 wins. But
It's my kind of fighter, you know that.
if you
That
watch,
means he's throwing the jab out there.
he could box.
Yeah.
He could box. He has skills in the southpaw. That just his skills should do something for Vergil's development. You know, maybe it's a really good fight because you're putting him in there with a guy who's not got the power, but he's got a lot of the skills that he's gonna have to see down the road. So that's actually a better fight than I gave it credit for off. I still wanted the Rashidi Ellis fight instead. But
You don't want the Rashidi Ellis fight.
yes, sir.
Rashidi's problems, man.
Rashidi,
I know.
I'm telling you, Rashidi beats him.
There's only one way you find out if you're that good by fighting good fighters. So
You talked about, and we'll obviously preview Vergil next week, going into the 19th. But you talked about Floyd kind of co-signing Chocolatito for the best fighter. It always feels good when somebody co-signs something you think that you trust their opinion.
Right.
And so on Chicken Talk,
That's why I'm here.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whenever Shawn agrees, I'm like, come on. But on Chicken Talk, Dmitry Andrade was great, as he always is. One of the most engaging guys you could possibly ever
It's me
talk
again.
to. Yeah. And he said, when they asked him some of the young guys he likes to watch, obviously lists guys like Boots. And then who did he throw in there? Rashidi Ellis. I was like, yeah, because he would beat Vergil Ortiz if they fought.
I think that's him giving a shout out to a guy who's getting overlooked.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I was like, yeah, cool. I like Rashidi Ellis too. I like Dmitry Andrade. But
Shout out Chicken Talk real quick. Like
yeah, for anyone that's not aware,
It's
Lefty.
taking Twitter by storm.
Yeah, and they really do a great job of getting people in there. My guy Lefty, everyone else in there, MVL, got to give him a shout out. But whether it's just an interview or not even, because it's not even really an interview, it's just a conversation. They'll have like Demetrius Andrade's on there. People have questions, they ask, and it's cool from a perspective of if you're a fight fan, you're like, I've always wanted to ask a boxer a question.
Yeah.
Or if you have something specific and you want to ask them, it's cool that way. Or after fights or before fights, they're always going on there, and you get pretty good opinions across the board. But
I think I spent like an hour and a half on there. Was it longer than that?
no, it's probably when you were on there, probably about an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half. Great
Impressive.
questions. You get an opportunity to talk to people that are like you just said, like, I wonder this.
Yeah.
I would ask him that. You know what I mean? You just give people that open door to you kind of invite people in. And what I like about Chicken Talk is it provides a platform that you don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's really no live boxing talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And-
We
and- yeah.
do it a little bit, but
Yeah.
we don't have.
I think any platform like that you get fighters on there, you just get open dialogue where it's not going to get crazy and stuff's not going to blow off the handles, because sports are sports. Like, you talk about the Cavs or the Browns against the Steelers, I promise you there's going to be an argument at some point.
It's a lot of love on there too.
Yeah. lot of love, and it gives a glimpse into a fighter that you might not have before, which boxing does to an extent. FightHype.com, you do a great job, obviously talking boxing, but you get to know the guys and you get to see their personalities a little bit. It's always good for that because it's not other sports where there's websites that are dedicated to profiles. Boxing is a little different that way, still a little more old school. But
Are they sporadic or do they have
they're
like
extremely sporadic.
So Chicken Talk sporadic.
Yeah, at Lazy Lefty OG, I believe is his Twitter account. But you'll see it pop up. There's usually a good group in there, chatting, chopping it up. But
You reminded me that Boo Boo was on there.
yeah,
And so I jumped
He's
on
the
to
best.
listen to Boo Boo.
He's the best.
Only thing you said is your guy's on here being himself.
Yeah.
And I know exactly who you were talking about.
he's the
And
best.
That dude's Boo Boo's been Boo Boo as long as I've known him. One of the best guys out there. And like I said to you the other day, one of the most marketable boxers in the game.
I feel like he's going to get an opportunity this year. Second
should.
half.
Yeah, he should.
He's got the Zach Parker fight, but I don't know. It feels like some of these guys are going to start fighting each other that are, all wanting the Canelo fight. I feel like some of them are going to pair up in the second half of the year. I hope.
I feel like there's a wave coming and has been coming where guys are going to start fighting, not granting, the belt and all that kind of stuff, but they're going to be fighting because this is what they want and this is what the fight fans want. So I got a feeling this is going to happen more.
Hearn said during the week that he's okay with him going to Showtime for the big fights like Charlo and Benavidez. So,
and he seems open to both.
right.
I also think Dmitry Andrade is pretty much open to any fight, but he seems very open to
Maybe
both
him
of
and
those.
David do wind up fighting. I don't. It just
Man,
doesn't
that would-
seem likely. It seems like,
That would
but
be a great fight.
Just thought of something.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking about Chicken Talk too,
Yeah.
because I said, hey, remind me to talk about this age thing
Oh,
next
yeah.
time we come on
And here we are.
on the podcast, because a lot of the questions to Boo Boo were pertaining to his age and does he think he missed his mark and
How much longer do you
how
still
much
have in the
longer is he
game?
still gonna have in the game and all that kind of stuff. Of course, we've seen a few fighters retire recently, and so you kind of looking at everybody and like, all right, well, if he retired, then when are you gonna retire?
Yeah.
Aren't you guys the same age? The best thing about Boo Boo is it's like gift and the curse. The curse was he didn't get the career he wanted. He didn't get the money he wanted. He hasn't gotten the fights that he's wanted. But he's not a 33-year-old in the ring. He's more like 28,
right.
25. Probably getting kind of exaggerated,
Yeah.
but right.
That's your guy.
But my
Sounds like
point
he's pretty much making his debut.
but my point is, why did I say 25?
I like it, though. I was like-
I
I was
got
like,
too
go ahead.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Ant's not here. I'm trying to pick up the slack. What I'm saying is,
He's always in the spirit.
what I'm saying is, what am I saying?
That he doesn't have a lot of miles.
He's a fresh 33.
Yeah, doesn't have a lot of
He's
miles on him.
Fresh, not
He
much.
hasn't been in a
mileage.
war. He hasn't been in a war.
Hasn't been in any wars.
Yeah.
Very
You know what I mean? So
defensively responsible, which helps.
very, very much so. So while you're asking Boo Boo, hey man, you're 33. What are you thinking? Boo Boo's a lot like me. He's ambitious. He's got a lot of goals. He got a lot of things that he wants to do outside of the sport. But this is the number one thing in his life, and he's a little different from me because this is it for him. Nothing else matters until this is done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so with that being said, while you're asking him all these questions, let's get the man these fights, because if anybody can pull it off at 33, you be safe putting your money on a guy that hasn't been in any wars and hasn't taxed his body the way some of us have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, great fighter. Hopefully he gets the
I was a
fights
little
coming up.
annoyed listening to the
Yeah, it's a natural question though, especially with guys like you retire and
Yeah.
guys are getting towards the end. They're like, I only have so many more fights. But
Also, let me say this about age, and
yeah.
again, to my point, I think I've said this before, but I believe fighters are closer to their prime between 30 and 35 than
25 to 30.
25 to 30.
So you had a hell of a fight in the chamber still. Once
And everyone's different.
35.
Right? So and everyone's different, right? Some
Everybody,
guys-
everyone's different. But what I'm saying is, if we know we as human beings are basically reaching our potential in terms of how intelligent we are and how mature we are around the age of 28 to 30,
Yeah.
then why is it any different in the boxing ring?
Right.
How am I not gonna be as smart as I can be, as skillful as I can be, have all the experience that I can have closer to 30 and be in prime 30 to 35 opposed to 25 to 30. So while you're looking at some of those 30-year-olds, 33-year-olds out there and you say, hey, you might be close to the end, aren't you? Some of them might be closer to the beginning.
I mean, I think when Floyd first went to 54, he fought Oscar at 54. He's 29. If you look at the Floyd that fought Canelo at 54, he would have beat the 29-year-old Floyd. So, yeah, you're right. Everyone's Lennox Lewis was at his best at probably 33, 34 years old. But then some guys, they're at their best in their 20s.
So many different factors. How well you take care of yourself,
Yes.
what style of
What
fighter
style.
you are,
Yeah.
who you fought.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of factors. But yeah, don't rush these people to retirement. But
Canelo's definitely at his best at 30, 31.
yeah,
Better than he was in his 20s.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why Triple G, have fun in the fall. But yeah, that's it. I think.
He will be with that check.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
yeah. Get your money. But that's it for me. That's all I got.
All I got.
Did I tell him anything else?
I have so much more to give, but you'll have to tune in next week.
Boom. That's what we call a tease in the business.
Does that mean another canine?
No. I'll retire it for the season. But it's coming back.
You brought it back around. You looped it
This is-
around.
this
I like
is
that.
the
Started
part
with
away.
the end of it.
Bars.
Rhymes like dimes.
This is the Porter way. God bless. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter
You're
Way
here already.
podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're going to do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendall.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.